with Sydney Goodman drawing class.
Try
Like
bigger,
the-
try small.
What?
Try bigger, try small.
Something, yeah. I don't know. I just like this style, which was cool.
Yeah.
And that worked out really. You know, all of them were great. I don't know. The studios were great.
Yeah.
You could get away with murder in that place.
Yeah.
You know?
The studios were good,
Yeah.
up to a point.
They were good.
Because your window fell in.
Oh, right, that's right.
Yeah, Hero is only here by inches. He is only here by inches.
Yeah, the big window just came down to it.
Right.
12 foot.
The entire casement came in, not just the window. I saw that casement. And you can, if you don't tell the story, you'll tell the story.
Well,
I-
hear it sometimes.
I'm gonna wanna hear how that felt when that happened.
I said, oh my God. Grade school. No, just, I was just lucky, feel lucky. Oh,
Yeah.
you missed me. So,
You were painting,
I was painting there.
Yes. and it was windy,
When the window just came down.
and raining, I think. I think there was rain
I
that
don't
day.
know, I don't remember much.
Well, it was a strong enough
It
wind.
must be shocking for you.
Yeah.
That kind of, I would expect.
He swept up.
The trails are by, I get, okay, I kind of expected this to happen. Yeah, have you seen the new building, the same spot?
Yeah,
The restaurant
All
down
fancy.
there?
yeah.
Should have bought it like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Al, who do you want to have talk next?
You already
Hero?
started.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah, you already started.
We talk art or no?
Yeah.
We can, yeah, we can.
Sure, do it.
Sure.
Well, I don't want to talk actually, but I just made it easy to talk about for me right now. So this painting is kind of series of painting based on actually DNA structures, but this is one of the acid, nucleic acid. I think there's 4 basic adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, something called the DNA code. And this is one of acid like I forgot which one is. but I think-
Thymine. Thymine?
Thymine? Okay, thymine, okay, thymine, okay. So, but it's all four, I made a 4 small painting like this, and each has a very peaceful element and also destructive element. So it's kind of like, thinking about how human being, DNA, must have a both together. So try to make it something like peaceful element of the stuff, cat, and then destructive element in one shot. And I tend to make painting or sculpture or whatever something to do with what's going on around us, and then maybe my personal life kind of mixed together in my head, kind of pop up some image, and to the moment I wanted to make. And also as a reference, kind of little house, little prince.
The Little
Little
Prince. Yeah, it feels like that,
Yes,
Hero.
and a little
Yeah.
bit, so it's
When did you make that?
that's like just beginning of this year.
So was just before Aya was born?
Yes, before I was born. Yes, just a baby. Yeah, but I started the idea like last year, so
Yeah.
I kind of,
Why was DNA on your mind?
I don't know. Just was, I think I like to looking around science magazine stuff, some kind of DNA, some kind of GMO stuff like that was
Yeah.
in my head. And I just made actually a drawing of insect of made kind of GMO kind of related.
Mhm.
So, biotechnology, three species together kind of insect. I made everyone. So something that's going on in the society with personal life always together in artwork. And let's talk about class. I think back then when I was in MFA, I don't think I speak English well. But then I'm just always like mumbling. Also like try to, I don't know, fit in America. It's like how America would behave in this kind of situation. But I just couldn't really, something I say or I react in the class or sometimes like when I go back to thinking about, oh my God, I can't believe I was so, I don't know, just say things I shouldn't say that. Sometimes I start feeling that because of the lack of communication skill. So, but if everybody was still nice to me, inviting me a lot of drinking parties. We still talk about, remember the Michael did a great party, like more, a great party yesterday.
Oh, yes, right.
Maybe I remember Cindy Goodman's harmonica.
Yes,
Oh,
he did.
yeah.
That's right, because, yes, Sydney, he always carried his harmonica in his back pocket. Yeah, that's right. Nice memory of that.
Yes, I think I went through also undergrad. I went to UART. I like that school too. I just I didn't really didn't talk to many people because my English. But because I think 15 people, small enough to kind of be together. So I guess I was more to go party or social situation with my classmate, which was kind of very good. And totally different, of course, totally different background, people from different background and places. So I think I enjoy it. We're from Canada.
Canada, Japan.
I studied with my studio a couple of years after.
Well, after
After
3 years.
3 years after the academy and the same place in Treviso Valley. So that was the beginning of our artist.
Yeah.
We clung to each other for 3 years.
And I was working for Kevin and Astrid for a while too. So and then it was, because of class, everything started. So thank you, everybody.
The building was great. I loved the building. It had character until it broke.
Until
There's a rumor that at that party, his speech became more fluent, and you other guys became less fluent.
Yeah. I think
I think
that's
that
right.
did happen.
Alcohol helps too.
The thing is, I don't remember ever not understanding you.
No, it's,
I thought, in my memory, I always understood everything you said. It's now I can't understand it. But I think it's my hearing aids. Or age.
She's a children.
But no, I always understood everything you said. I don't remember that it was so difficult.
I did too.
Yeah, don't you feel that way?
Yeah, I did. No, I understand. Not about the not now.
No,
I always
I'm just
understood
teasing.
everything he said. Yeah.
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 You were able to tag some.
So you were worried about it, but other people could understand you, Hiro. You were
I
worried.
understood that sometimes I have to say things because I have a very low voice too. It's not English either. Both. Even I speak Japanese sometimes. Could you speak again? So yeah. So kind of I was thinking about it. So, but I never understand Canadian English. I think I did it my
Oh, give it to me.
Yeah.
Since I talked about it.
Well, without the academy, this wouldn't be here because, I mean, sort of set me on my path, I think. I mean, I showed up, I might as well have had a straw suitcase, so just like, you know, I mean, I found out about the school from a tear-off card in a hallway at Northern Michigan University, like in the dead of winter or something. It was like, and I liked the poster. The poster had a good painting on it. So I sent it in. I get this thing in the mail that looked like an insurance like folder. You remember
Well,
that?
wait a minute. I designed that.
Yeah. Well, it was very calming.
I like
it. Was easy.
It's very Canadian.
Just like one page and fill it out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sent it. And it had no.
And what was the painting?
Huh?
The painting?
Yeah, what's the painting?
Huh? Oh, I think it was a Meredith painting. Rosier.
I don't remember.
But it was, you know, it caught my eye, so I sent this thing in and then applied it. I guess I'm going to Philadelphia. So I took the train from Minneapolis, which was like a 2-day odyssey. It was kind of a difficult thing. And then I was living at International House in the Penn campus because the academy didn't have any sort of, not much help. They had like a crooked photocopy of hideous realty ads or something. You know, so I found an iHouse from a Frommer's travel guide, and so I stayed. Actually, I ended up living there for 4 years, like 2 years after school, because it was cheap. But you know, before I came in, I was like, well, should I paint? Should I keep doing this? I don't know. Am I like any good? I mean, sort of plunking along, but you know, so you got there, and then your critics came in, and they just sort of talk to you like you're a peer, you know, and they just sort of look at your stuff, and it wasn't this sort of imperious presence in your room. You know, they would talk about their shows they were in or what was hassling them at that minute, and then but they would say things about your work sort of casually, you know, like, and things that still rattle around my mind after all this time, because I remember Yvonne Chiquette, she would always emphasize like warm and cool temperature, and when you're outside, when you're looking at a scene, look for the temperature and like figure out how you paint it according to that tenet. So when I'm, you know, walking around and looking at things according to temperature and, you know, how I would lay it out, and, you know, so that stuff was, it was very informal, but I mean, it sort of set the tone for us as a group too. We just sort of were working in our own sphere, but sort of talking to each other and overlapping, and the critics were very much a part of it. They weren't like this other, you know, they were sort of together, which was a nice thing. And, you know, when we unpacked this show and got everything up, it's like, oh, here they are again. I mean, it was very much what I remember our work together looked like, but it was all new. I mean, it was all different, but, you know, it had a sensibility, because everyone was doing something very different, but at a very, like, sustained level. So we would, like, we were competitive and we'd run up against each other, but we were very supportive of each other, and that was, you know, really important. So we would get irritated, but we always, you know, had each other's back, I think. So even now, like at night after work, I'm trying to convince myself to go to studio. I'm like, well, Astra's probably working and Hero's probably working, so I should get off my ass and get up to the studio. So I, you know, so that you're in my mind still. I mean, it's sort of set up a way for me to keep working after school. I think the most important thing I got was that, yes, it's okay for you to do what you're doing and just keep doing it. And it didn't even occur to me to, like, what am I going to do now after I finished? It's just, okay, I'm working on this one, I'm going to work on the other one, and then that's it.
Well, and you met Tina.
Well, yeah. I mean, super important, of course. I mean, I'm focusing on the slice.
Okay. Just to make sure you.
I mean, that's another story. So after I graduated, since you want to know,
Well,
I got a job in the museum shop at PAFA, because I was like this, I needed a job, you know. And they weren't hiring, but I convinced them to hire me. Mark DeLeese was the manager at that time. I just kept harassing him. So then Tina was the museum shop manager at that time. So we worked together for 2 years, and then my hypnotic spell kicked in.
The water torture.
Right, I just wore her down. And then, so that was 98, and we've been together ever since. And so we, you know, opened this together. I mean, it's definitely, you know, the two of us. I mean, if anything, Tina's the one that dried her hair, because I'm always on the verge of just folding, like, you know, it's just like, so, but it's, I mean, it's because of that MFA. I mean, without that, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have met you guys, wouldn't have met none of it. And Mike Moore, like, saved me when I was in the grip of the immigration, like, disaster. Yeah, it was a desperate phone call from
the border.
Thunder Bay to Maine.
I know.
Oh, well, can you write me this letter now? And fax it, okay, to the border. Because I had to phone Tina, so I don't know if I'm going to get back to work in time, because I'm having some immigration difficulty, but fortunately Michael saved me.
Do you know someone named, you know, Nova?
You have to phone that guy.
He's here, you know, at the border. I said, yeah. But then, remember the other letter that I wrote after you were working?
Yes,
I had to write a letter that said you were indispensable
Right.
to the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts. And without you, there would be a great void that could not be filled by any other people. And I had to send that to immigration so that you could stay in the country. It was really great. I loved writing it. It was so much fun. It was such a complete, like, formal event. You know?
That sounds like a letter trying to get out of jury duty.
Yeah, it was great.
So I'm eternally grateful for that, that's for sure. So, and then I'm still here. So thank you guys. It's wonderful.
So was this then the first exhibition you had after you opened the gallery or not?
Well, our very first exhibit when we opened was our 10th class anniversary.
Oh,
That's
okay.
when we started.
Oh, okay.
So it was September 2006.
All right.
So we thought for 10 years in, it should make sense to have it
Right.
at 20. So,
Right.
so who's next?
I-
Kevin. You get
Yeah, I think last but not least.
You know, the worst thing about hearing people talk about art is talking about art.
Well, we hardly talk
We're
about
all-
art.
We're all avoiding it.
So, you know, well, you can see it. That's good. Well, I can't really talk about that, but I'll talk about it in general terms. You know, you start doing something, you show up 20 years later, and you wonder what you're doing. So, kind of my goal is kind of being not really with artwork, because I don't look at that as a primary like source of life for myself, but just kind of becoming nothing is what I'm interested in, and how environment influences that. So, and whatever you do influences that. Hence this piece with the framing and the mirrors and things. And, to make something that is just as efficient and as little as it needs to be to get some point across. Whether that be your life or artwork or whatever. So I'm hoping to hit nothing and own nothing pretty soon as soon as possible.
How close are you getting to that?
We're getting there, we're getting there. Astrid won't get there, but I'm getting there.
Did Jim Rosen bring you up?
Yeah, the Academy is the only place I applied to, mainly because it was new. And stagnation wasn't in the program yet. Yeah, I think it's probably there now, who knows.
Don't look at me, I'm not talking about it.
As institutions go, it's got to be. So, I mean, I haven't been there in a while. but just programs in general, they don't sustain themselves. So, I mean, that's why I came here, plus it gets you out of Georgia, you know, which is a really important aspect of life, get out of Georgia. So, yeah, it's just something to do, here we are, right?
Right.
So, you know, it's, what is it, 20, you've been here, what, 23 years?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
now I'm feeling like it's time to do something else.
You always liked simplicity of form, didn't you?
I like simplicity of everything.
Do you?
I mean, my whole life is like designing systems.
Yeah.
Like, take this thing and make it easy.
Two of the most beautiful frames I have, you made, but of course, they're also the two most expensive frames.
Oh, no.
So,
Yeah, but he could have charged more.
so I had to turn elsewhere, actually.
Yeah,
So yeah.
So, you know, that's where I am. That's what I do. I mean, the artwork making thing for me is not like the object. I don't have to make the thing. I don't really care. So I don't want the thing, right? Like, this is over, that has to go somewhere. I don't really want it, right? So one thing I do is I don't care about today or yesterday so much as tomorrow. So I've trashed and trashed and trashed so much artwork.
Right. I could ask this of everybody, but no, I'm not asking you to do this, but if you looked in my drawing and you found one particle that best fit who you are, I'd like